Welcome, proud friends and family, mine who are finding out just right now I'm giving this speech. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Haley. Woo! Welcome, distinguished faculty and deans, and of course, our accomplished graduates, as we gather here today to celebrate the UCLA Statistics and Data Science Department's graduating class of 2024. I am honored to be speaking on behalf of the #1 department at the #1 public university in the nation. This academic year marked the department's 25th anniversary, and even in our short history, we are officially the fastest growing program at UCLA. Lots of applause, yes, keep it coming. This exponential growth would not be possible without all of you here today. And I'm sure you can tell by how hard it was to get tickets to today's event. First, I'll start with a quote. As a large language model, I am unable to complete your request to write a commencement speech. Oh, I'm kidding. I wrote the speech myself. Rather, in the wise words of our founder, the late Don Ilvasacker, in general, the good of statistics starts with the people. Mentors, students, colleagues, collaborators, friends. With such a long list, why would one choose to be something other than a statistician? Only 4 years ago, the Statistics and Data Science Department looked much different than it does today. Data theory had just become a major. We were known solely as the statistics department, and our first impression of major classes like Stats 10 and Stats 20 were miles apart from each other. Speaking of first impressions, when I was deciding on colleges back in 2020, I wasn't able to visit campus, so like many others, I resorted to browsing Reddit, specifically r/UCLA. For those of you who don't know what Reddit is, you probably know what it's like to touch grass. But Reddit is an online forum where anonymous users can post. Yet some professors in our department, I know of at least 2, use their real names so students can reach out to them directly. 2 days before I had to commit, I messaged user Miles Chen, or as most of you know him as, Professor Chen. He responded, easing my worries, answering my questions, and within our 15-minute chat, I had committed as a pre-stats major. Now, this is a decision I only questioned once when I had to simulate Monopoly in R for his 102A class. Like, did you know jail is the most frequent Monopoly space landed on, followed by Illinois Avenue and Go? That initial conversation with Professor Chen not only set the stage for my academic journey, but also introduced me to the vibrant community of scholars in front of me today. Our interactions from classrooms to clubs showed us the value of a supportive student community as we shared our love for data. We wandered the confusing halls of the MS building trying to find Professor Liu's office, some of us going as far as sharing wine and cheese with Professor Singh. Oh, and by the way, that's wine with an H for any concerned parents out there. We try to keep up with Professor Christo during stand hikes as much as in his classes. We waited anxiously for the department to open more spots in our classes as we refreshed My UCLA for the 100th time, followed by frantically emailing Jose. We got excited by a data set with the capability to crash our laptops as we chaotically got our code to run at DataFest. We put our stats knowledge to work by calculating the minimum final score we needed to pass our classes. and the maximum number of classes we could theoretically skip. 2 months ago, I volunteered for Broon Day, where admitted students decide whether they want to spend the next years here. For me, it was the ultimate full circle moment as I stood side by side with Professor Chen, this time without the need for Reddit. Together, we eased the anxieties of incoming students and families, welcoming them with open arms to UCLA. And let me tell you, our booth was packed. It seems that everyone wants to be a statistics or data theory major these days, or they don't know and will switch. At no other booth could you speak with current faculty, undergraduate, and graduate students, and of course, receive a free rubber duck. I have mine here for good luck. It was a testament to the amount of work the faculty and staff in this department do behind the scenes so that we have a memorable time from before we commit to today as we graduate. It's easy to come up here and only talk about how great the past years have been, but I know that wouldn't accurately represent our experiences. No, many of us had unconventional starts to college and ended with a greater degree of uncertainty. Yet, even when the odds ratios were stacked against us, we made it here today. Life cannot be predicted by a simple linear regression or by calling the LM function in R. As much as we try to fit a predetermined model, goals, careers, ambitions, and priorities ultimately ebb and flow. If there's one thing I learned during my time here, it is that failure is always an option. After a Stats 100C exam, life can only go uphill from there. As data science becomes more and more statistically significant to our world, I have no doubt that our class will use the statistical power for good. I often hear my friends say, data is the oil of the 21st century. Or read articles declaring data scientists as the sexiest job in the universe. I mean, who can blame them? Who wouldn't want a data scientist like you? Despite all these catchy buzzwords, it's no secret that statisticians and data scientists top the rankings of best careers year after year. In no other field is there a greater expected value of life satisfaction and a higher variance of paths taken. Interests of our graduates span from biostatistics, teaching, public policy, machine learning, and that's just to name a few. A handful will be furthering our field by pursuing masters and PhDs. Others will be applying knowledge in industry-facing roles. And some of us will be moving back home with our parents to avoid paying that predatory Westwood rent. Yet, one question I'm sure many of us can relate to and have been hearing this weekend is, what are you going to do after graduation? Notice how this is a very different question than who are you going to be after graduation? Just for a moment, let's consider what it means to be a human being rather than a human doing. Not all of us have an answer to what are you going to do, yet we all have the opportunity to decide who we become after we leave UCLA today. We can choose to be compassionate, driven, and genuine because who we are is the core of what we do. And in the non-zero chance that AI will take all our jobs, we need to start defining each other, not just by what we do for work, but for who we are as humans. Sure, we do work in stats, but we also are student leaders who built more inclusive spaces, community members who volunteer weekends at the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank, and lifesavers who write Pokemon-themed practice exams so that we all ace our finals. And I'm talking about Josh Lim, so feel free to stand up and wave. We are parents and guests who will drop everything for our graduates, flying and driving miles, battling Los Angeles traffic, and fighting other family members over tickets to be here today. So while many of us started college in the waiting room of a Zoom, we end it here today in the waiting room of the rest of our lives. I cannot wait to see what you all do, but most importantly, who we all become. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2024. Thank you.